What is up, martial arts fanatics? Welcome back. As always, I am Coach Greg, and today we're doing a little bit of constraints-led approach drill. Before we get started, I do want to remind you guys, go check out the Nemean fight system. It's currently available on Amazon and on Dynamic Striking and BJJ Fanatics, so go check that out today. Now let's talk about today's drill. So Dylan's an interesting case because he came from a couple years of karate, and he's got these beautiful high kicks. Like, they're very technical and precise, very based out of form though, right? They're not based out of a lot of fighting application. It's based out of a lot of forms and one steps and things that you see in traditional martial arts. But they are beautiful technique, very precise looking. In fact, one of the things I had to work with him on early on was, not leaving his kicks hanging out there, because we're not taking pictures of this stuff. Like, throw your kick and get out of it, right? And so today's drill came because, so I do a class on Mondays that's Taekwondo designed for MMA and kickboxing rather than Taekwondo for like Taekwondo sport. It's basically like developing kicking skills in the same way a boxing class develops punching skills that you can use towards these other rule sets. So one of the things that Dylan wanted to work on last night, because it was just the two of us, is he wanted to work on a little bit of footwork. And you can see here he's pretty heavy footed, and this is something we're trying to work on with him. But the point of this drill was to give him a lateral technique, whether it's a cross or a cut kick, and by that I mean a Taekwondo cut kick, not a Muay Thai cut kick, something lateral coming at him that he's now got to respond to. Now, I do give him a little bit of technical coaching, more than you normally would do in a constraints-led approach, but I also don't totally buy into constraints-led approach, and what I mean by that is, I think that when it comes to developing skills, you want to let them find their own way, but often if you have a good technique, the most mechanically sound way of achieving that result should be the technique. And if it's not, there's something wrong with the technique. But I do give him a little bit of coaching on some things that I want to see. So, for example, when I talk about like rolling his shoulder into redirect or stepping off the line and countering, these are things that I'm trying to work on. But some of it's also to try to let him kind of find his own way. I don't show the video here, but I actually did a third round after this where we taped some paper towels to the bottom of his feet, so that he could feel anytime he got heavy on his feet, because you see he gets real heavy on his heels here, and it's starting to lighten him up a little bit. It's getting him a little bit more relaxed. Now, he did bring up the point that as a bigger guy, sometimes it's hard to be very bouncy a lot, and I was kind of coaching him on the idea of like, yeah, you don't have to do that the whole time, but you do have to be able to spring out, and especially if you're in kicking range, that's when you need to be more active with your footwork, rather than, from the outside. It's just like feinting. You don't have to be super active with feinting when you're outside of range. But as you come into range, you need to be active with that footwork. And here he's also getting a little bit tired too, because we had been doing this for a while before we recorded it. So this was actually probably, I think, like our fourth or fifth round of this. And as you can see, he's starting to kind of pick it up a little bit, right? He's starting to like shoulder roll. He's starting to step off the line. He's not squaring off as much. He's staying a little bit more bladed, which allows him to be lighter. And he's adding in his own things where he's starting to lean back and throw the side kick and stuff like that. And this stuff is all great for that type of technical development. So it was really impressive, the things that we saw him starting to do. But I just wanted to show this as another example of something that we can do as a constraints-led approach towards martial arts, because there just isn't a lot of drill stuff out there right now. And so I wanted, like, as I come up with stuff like this or the bubble drill, I want to start putting more of this type of stuff out there so that people can start to implement in their own training if they are interested in constraints-led approach. But all right, I'll let you go ahead and finish this up. Thanks again. Make sure you share with your friends, guys.